Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Jensen and I am at my mom's house. She's holding the camera. You can say hi to Grandma. And we are cutting up chicken that she can put in the freezer. She's going to freeze it on trays. We already did one. And then it'll freeze individually, just like you might buy it packaged at the store. And then she can put it all in a bag and get out what she needs when she needs it. So it's already ready to go. These are chickens from Aldi's, 95 cents a pound, pretty cheap stuff. I'm going to talk to you about what you can do with each of the pieces. So first I have my sink clean. Well, it was before we cut up the other chicken. And everything's clean. I'm cutting it up open in the sink because the juice is running out. And then, come on. And then remember we talked about giblets when we did this at school in the Instant Pot. So this is that bag of giblets we talked about. And we have our nice little livers. These guys are darker red than the last ones. And then there's a nice neck, which can be added to the neck and the back piece in a little bit to make a nice broth, and we've talked about that. You don't have to have an Instant Pot, so this is the neck without the skin. There's a feather. Okay, the chicken diaper. All right, Mr. Chicken. Last one was a Mr. We'll see what this one is. So what I do is I just kind of pull it apart so you can see that tight skin where the leg is in there. I mean, he can move in there. And we're gonna just cut that skin on both sides. Again, be very careful, don't cut yourself, but if you're careful, this is perfectly safe. So now I've got this chicken. To stick a couple thumbs in, my hands on the back, and I'm just gonna pop his leg joints. So you can see his leg joint there. Now my fingers are under here, so that's the thing you gotta be careful about. So you can do this safer than me. I'm gonna cut, I can know where that joint is because the bone is there. There it is, that's the first hunk. And then this guy. Notice I stopped there, is because you don't want to point a knife up at you. There we go, much better. Now, I'm going to lay him there. If you need to cut, this is the thigh and the leg. You could cook these all as one piece if you want. It's a pretty good sized portion. You could roast it in the oven, you could fry it in a pan, but most of the time it's easier to handle if you cut them apart. So if you kind of pull this down so the skin's down, see where the fat is here? That's where you want to cut. That's kind of where that joint is. So we're going to see if I hit it on the first try again. No, oh, there we go. Had to press a little to get through the cartilage, but there's our leg and our thigh. Now we're going to do it again. Like I said, if you don't get it on the first try, it's okay. You just bring your knife back up and look for the joint. There we go. I did have to push a little. All right. Now we're going to cut the wings off. So here's the first wing. Just kind of pull it up. As you got there's his underarm. And that's where you're going to cut. Kind of just find that joint. There it is. You're just trying to cut the cartilage between the bones. And there we go. There's one. And it's gonna make a hole when we're done. There's his other arm. Wing, technically. They don't have arms, do they? There we go. Ooh, I got it good that time. All right, and then these can be pushed around like that to make them kind of compact for freezing. You could make the broth with the neck and the back and the wings. So we had that neck I showed you that came out of the inside. The back and neck bones are right here. Those we're going to cut separate from the breast here in a minute. So now we have the chicken. This is just skin. So we're going to kind of hold that up so you're not going to hurt yourself and cut and just get rid of it, basically, is what we're trying to do. It's not really anything you eat. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alrighty, now we cut off the wings. We now have a hole where the wings were. So you can kind of widen that out a bit and then just hold it back here. Stick your point down in that hole. These are just ribs. They're not hard to cut through. And then the other side, same thing. Well, there it is. Now you've got, there's a joint through here. I guess it's the clavicle. You're just going to pop that off. Okay, so there's your neck back. Here's a kidney. We don't really eat those. No, that's a lung. Ooh, that's cool. Look at that.
Oh my God.
A chicken lung. Wow, awesome. These are the kidneys. They're just gonna, when you cook it to make broth, they're not gonna hurt anything. They're not gonna hurt you. They're not, yuck. I mean, you don't want to eat them, but there's nothing wrong with them. So this has got pretty much meat. So if you cook this for to make broth, you can pick the broth off and make a pretty nice soup. So there's a neck and a back. I'm just gonna set them over here. And then we could put that other neck, you could put the wings with it and make a really nice broth, cook the meat, pick the meat off, and then make soup. Okay, now this is the breast. This is the inside, obviously. So we are going to pop this puppy in half. It's not a puppy, it's chicken, I know that. Okay, I'm gonna cut it right through this middle. And this is cartilage, this isn't bone. So I'm gonna cut until my knife won't go anymore and then stop. Then I got a thumb around each side of the wishbone and my palms, and I can just press. So it takes a little effort. I can push the meat away. This guy's bigger than the last one. There we go. Oop. That's the bone. The cartilage is still in here. It didn't pop out like it's supposed to. Usually that'll pop out in one piece. It's good for me to make mistakes because you can see that if this happens to you, it's no big deal. I just kept prying. There's a nice little hunk of meat on there though. So I'll put that with the neck and back for soup. All right, now I can finish cutting through that. And again, there might be a bone. I did have one. There's a hunk of the wishbone. I just moved it when I ran into it. I just moved my knife over. And there we have. This is a really big breast. So you can remove fat if you don't like the fat. You could pick all this skin off. This is the chicken tenderloin. So that's super tender. You could pull that out and cook it separate. You could take this whole chicken breast, pull this meat off, this bone, I mean. You could put that bone with any meat on it with your broth pile, and then you could cut just this breast up into small pieces to make a dish that needs just cut up chicken breast. So if you went to the store and you bought a chicken breast boned with, just a chicken breast with no skin and no bone, that's like $4.99, $5.99 a pound because they've done all this work for you. If you go to the store and you buy a cut up chicken breast so you can just go home and make stir fry, it's going to cost you even more. I don't even know how much because I don't ever buy it that way. I cut it up myself. But if you're super busy, that's still cheaper than eating out probably and healthier. But if you're not super busy or you don't have the money, it's 95 cents a pound for this chicken. It was about a 4.5 pound chicken. So we can get a lot of meals out of it depending on the size of your family and for a lot less money than what it would cost you to have someone else. Basically, if it's already cut up, you're paying someone to do that for you. So knowing how to do this can save you money. So when you're first starting out, and you know what, my mom is 81 and she still does it this way because this is the most economical way. So why spend money on something if you don't have to? So I think it tastes better too. It doesn't have, some of the chicken and stuff has a lot of sodium. They like soak it in a saline water. So I don't know. I just think this is a better way to do it. So this is your lesson on cutting up a chicken raw. I will be in touch with you on Wednesday in class, and we'll talk more about this. See you guys later.